Hello again, welcome to the Mystery Steamboat channel. If you're subscribed already, a big thumbs up to you. If you're not, there's a little subscribe button somewhere, there's a little bell for notifications. This is the next part of my Ask Me a Question. If you still want to ask me a question, put something in the comments down below. For those people who I have answered the question today, if you check in the description of the YouTube clip, there will be a link to their particular YouTube channel. So do feel free to check them out and see what they're up to in life and maybe subscribe to their channels. So on with the questions. Right, welcome to the next part of Ask Me a Question. Excuse the cushion, it's covering up my knobbly knees. Let me put that a bit forward there. Because I've got my shorts on today. It's very hot over here in England at the moment as I'm recording this. So the next question here is from Reba Derbs. Hello Reba. You've asked me quite a few questions here, so let's just see. Have I ever tried chocolate covered bacon? And if not, would I? Chocolate covered bacon. Ooh, chocolate covered bacon. Well, I think I could speak on behalf of everyone in England. We've never encountered that before. Chocolate covered bacon. I do love me chocolate. Bacon. If my wife cooks me bacon, it's kind of got to be like, you know, burnt to a cinder, like, you know, it's come out charcoaled, and then I kind of like it. But if it's not quite done really charcoal-y, I don't like it. So I'm not a big fan of bacon anyway. I don't mind it to a point, but not a big fan. But chocolate covered bacon. You've told me actually a little tweet that you can actually buy it in America in candy shops. So we might look out for that and give that a go maybe. It's kind of interesting. Chocolate covered bacon. Never tried it. Would I try it? Maybe. I'll let you know when we're out in America, and then I might pick up a bag. Why doesn't Tarzan have a beard? That's a very interesting question. Because when he was in the jungle, he was only little, wasn't he? Then he grew up with the monkeys, and no one had taught him how to shave. And that's a very good question. How can I answer that one? I don't know. It's like to know. It's here today, gone tomorrow. I don't know. Why has he not got a beard? I think he might have had a beard. Did he have a beard? If you watched Greystoke, Legend of Tarzan, I haven't watched that for a number of years now. That's got Christopher Lambert in it, who's a Highlander. I'm not sure if he had a beard at one point, because I'm sure when he went back to England, he was shaved. Then he was more clean shaven, and then, you know, I'm going to have to watch that film again to find out, because that one might have been more true to, you know, the Tarzan legend as opposed to the Disney films or even the Johnny Weissmuller films. I'm not that old to have seen Johnny Weissmuller when they first come out, but I've seen them on reruns on telly. Onkchi Junk, you know, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's a good question. Don't know why. I'm going to have to watch Greystoke again. That's any excuse to watch a Christopher Lambert film, really. How do spaceships know which way is up when they're off the planet? She says in brackets referring to Star Wars, where the ships have their tops on the same side, even the enemies. So that's quite a sort of interesting question. I'm not really sci-fi and, you know, and all that, but I know from a Star Trek point of view, they have what they call inertial dampeners. So basically, I think inertial dampener is like a gravity thing. So no matter what way the ship is, you're kind of, you know, upside down, but you're still stuck there. So the ship can do all that sort of flipping around, and you're still stuck to the floor. Yeah, from a Star Wars point of view, I suppose it is. But I mean, if you watch different shows, you get different ships. Then it's a little bit different, because the TARDIS is, if I pull over my money box, ooh, there it is. It's quite heavy. That's the TARDIS there. Look, boom. So there's that. You know, it always flies that way. It will spin round in the modern era. The other eras it didn't spin round at all. It's too technological to do that. But you know, that's always going to be that way up. And you walk in the door and there's the TARDIS, you know. So that's never going to be upside down. Let me put that back over there. And the same, the other one, another favourite show from the 70s is Blake 7. If you Google Blake 7 and Google, do like a picture search of the Liberator, that's like a three-pronged ship. There's a bit in the middle and a prong comes out there and there, or it might be one up there and two down there. So no matter what way that was, it was kind of always the right way up. Even if it wasn't the right way up, it looked the right way up. So it's a good question, that. Yeah, why is it always that way? Yeah, why do they always fly that way? I suppose perhaps because when you want to say the bridge of the Enterprise, for want of a better thing, you're sitting like looking out, and everything's built that way and built below you, isn't it? I don't know. I tell you, when I build myself a spaceship, I factor in these factors. Yeah. Should it be pointing upwards? Should it be pointing downwards? Yeah. That's probably why E.T.'s ship is like a big ball, isn't it? So it's just like, although again the ball goes down, doesn't it? It doesn't always spin around, does it? Interesting question. Right. What GoPro model do you recommend for vlogging? Well, to be honest, I don't know what this one's called, because I know there's GoPro 4 and 5 and maybe even a 6. This one we bought in Argos, if you're in England. I'm not sure if it's even in Argos anymore. It was just called a GoPro Hero. Let me just see if I've still got the... So now I've still got a leaflet there, the GoPro leaflet. I don't know if it says it in there, what this one is. No, it doesn't say anything. That's just bare minimum of instructions there. But I'm sure this was literally just called a GoPro Hero. It doesn't say a lot. It doesn't say a lot. I'm not even sure if this one, say, can actually be placed in water. Because I know some of the GoPros, it says you can drop it in water up to so many metres. I got the impression this one could. I'm not sure if this one can. I'm not going to take the chance and chuck it in my fish tank just to see if it does or doesn't. Because at the end of the day, I'm not really going to go in the water anyway. I'd love to go in a theme park, but with like a water theme park, but I can't swim. If I could swim, it'd be trouble me getting in and out, so it's never going to happen anyway. So yeah, so I don't know what this GoPro is, but I think my understanding of the GoPros, they're all quite kind of neat because they take good pictures. This is just videoing me, obviously, chatting away here, but it's really small. It's literally, well, that's the size of the phone there to give you an idea. So the start of the GoPro's there, it ends about there. It's really, really small. If you look at my introduction video, you see I've got it on my head, really small. So that's what I like about the GoPros. It's small, so it's not very heavy for me. Well, it's not heavy at all because I strap it to either my head or it's going to be strapped to my arm. But I personally can't fault GoPros. Yes, I think when we go to Florida, I'm going to need a few more batteries and I'm going to need more memory cards because I can't do any editing until we get back to England. So it means I've just got to kind of video away, and then I'm going to run out of memory on the card and need to swap the cards over. So yeah, I have no idea how many cards I've got to buy. What I do know is, and what I've read online, is that they take 64 gig cards. So if you think, oh, I'll get a bigger card, 128 gigs, say is the next one up, I think, from that, don't do it, because GoPro say that if you went bigger than 64 gigs, it does affect the way it records onto the memory card. So they say don't go higher than 64 gigs. So that's a good tip. If you think about getting a GoPro, don't go higher than 64 gigs. Just stick to that. Buy more cards, and then you're spending more money potentially, but stick to that. Obviously, if you like we sometimes do, we go out and do a bit of videoing, or even this videoing, I'd do it, whack it on my laptop, delete it straight away. But from a holiday vacation point of view, I've got to buy more memory cards because I can't video and edit till we get back, and I would never take my laptop away on holiday. Or even if you could connect it to like a little smaller, I don't know what's the word, not a netbook. I've got one over there, like a tablet. That's the word I'm looking for. Tablet. I don't know if it will connect to a tablet. Could I edit on there? Possibly. Would I do it? I don't think I would. I think I'd just wait till I get home and do it all then. It's a lot easier to do it on a laptop. So yeah, I think that is the end of your questions. Oh no, sorry. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Sorry, there is one more because I just scrolled across. Since you do magic tricks, which Hogwarts house are you? Well, I have to confess, I don't do Harry Potter. Would I like to see the Harry Potter thing in Universal in America? Yes. I would do it this year? No, because we're quite limited in the time we can spend in Orlando. I've only really watched one Harry Potter film, maybe two at a push. I think I read one book as well, but I didn't read them in order. I think I read about the Phoenix one, whatever that one's called. I think I read them totally out of order. So I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, to be honest with you. Perhaps if I ever did Harry Potter Land in America, I'd buy one of those little wands. Now I can incorporate that in the trick, innit? Because I can't find a magician's wand, like the old-fashioned wands where you get the black bit in the middle and then two white bits at the end, and you can do all that, innit? Very old-school magic, but I can never find one. I'd love to get one of them wands. So I should have to look on eBay for one, shouldn't I? Yeah, should look on eBay for one. So the simple answer is I don't watch Harry Potter, so I don't even know what houses there are. Sorry. Right, the next question is come from Disney World Adventures. They've asked me one question, but it's actually a very, very good question. It could upset people when I answer this one. Have you been? You have been to at least 2 Disney parks, I think. Which Disney park is your favourite? Well, we have been to 3 Disney parks. I say we, as in me. Me and my wife have only been to 2, but I went to one on my own with a friend when we did a California tour, which kind of gives that away. That we have done, or I have done, the original Disneyland California Magic Kingdom. When we went, they were building the California Adventure. That was just a big building site, and we could see it from our hotel. So that wasn't, wasn't there. We just did the Magic Kingdom. So that was cool because it's the original. And there's, I think, with most Magic Kingdoms, there's always a ride that's kind of only in that ride, in that park, I think. And we loved California because of the Matterhorn bobsleds. That was quite cool. At the time when we did it, and I know it's not there now, they had a thing called rocket rods, which was really cool. Why we loved it. I seem to be seeing on the internet people hated it, but we loved it. We loved it. So they were 2 good rides. Obviously, we still did the It's a Small World and all the classics, the Space Mountains and Thunder Mountains, but they are the 2 standout rides for me. Matterhorn and rocket rods, although it's not there anymore. Wish I'd videoed, at that point, but I wasn't taking videos, I was taking my camera everywhere. Magic Kingdom, obviously we love Magic Kingdom. I've been there, well, I'm not even going to count, but lots of times, with my brother, with my best friend, and now with my wife. And that's again quite cool. We like Florida, the fact that there's more parks. You've got Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Disney Studios, whatever they now call it, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. So we like that there's 4 parks there. The Disney Springs is a sort of newish sort of thing for us because it used to be downtown Disney, so I know they've changed it a lot since we was last there. Paris, if you've not been to Paris, has only got 2 parks. It's got the Magic Kingdom again, and it has got a Disney Studios. I should know the name. I think it probably is called the Walt Disney Studios. It's literally, you can walk between the 2 because it's quite small in Paris, so you can, even sort of the budget hotels on the Disney property, you could walk from that to Magic Kingdom in about 20 minutes tops. You can get a bus, and it will take you round to where the train station is, and then from the train station you've still got to walk to either park, but that's only like a 3-minute walk. When we've stayed we've stayed in the Disneyland Hotel, so if you've seen it, you know where that is. If you've not seen it, Google it, because the hotel literally is right above the turnstiles to get into Magic Kingdom. So literally we go down the lift, or we're in disabled rooms, so it's down the bottom anyway. We come out the main door, it's literally about 30 seconds and then we're in the park, so that's really good. Especially for us when we end up buying lots of stuff, in the shops. It's easier to load me up, and my wife pushes me back, so we'd always borrow a wheelchair, load me up with goodies, and I can't see where I'm going because it's just loaded up to here. Push me back to the room, offload the stuff, and then back in the park, or have a little rest in the room and then go back in the park. But the question is, which park do I like the best? Well, I have to say there's 2 reasons for me saying it. It is Paris. America has got cool stuff to buy. That's why we love America. Certainly from a t-shirt point of view, you find that you can sometimes have trouble finding certain sizes. So America's better, I think, for merchandise, but Paris is better for merchandise in that you can buy lots of stuff in Paris, but unless it's changed. In America we bought really nice watches. You can't buy a decent watch in Paris. You can buy watches, but they're kind of cheap and cheerful ones that are plastic, and we always look to try and find a nice posh watch, I think the last one I bought out there, it was like a metal one. Then you could actually change the strap to make it a leather strap. The top bit would actually swivel off and you can change the top on it, so it's say Mickey Mouse or there'll be some sort of other thing on it. That's really cool. I've got one that you probably can't see it there, but we did in the art of animation, there was a Disney artist drawing, so he drew me a Donald Duck. That picture was then transposed onto a face dial. So that's why we like America more for watches. They will potentially have better watches. But from Paris's point of view, which is why we kind of like Paris more, not because it's nearer, we can potentially buy more stuff, but importantly, bigger stuff that we couldn't get home from Florida, then just load the car up. And we're changing cars in September, October, I can't remember what it is now, so we're actually getting a bigger car, so there'll be more stuff to cram in that car. What else can we buy to cram in that car? So that's, from a shopping point of view, that's why we like Paris more than America, because you can buy bigger things. You can't see it there, but I've got a Mickey on a carousel horse, and it's about that high. It's a really big thing, and obviously that comes in a huge box, because how the Disney package it, with polystyrene, they're huge, but even a small thing about, a clock about that big has got a box that size, isn't it? So that's why we like Paris then. But also, I've obviously seen 3 castles. Paris has got the best castle. It's the Sleeping Beauty castle. So again, Google it. I think it pops up in my intro video. If you pause it, you can see it. You've got turrets there. There's one turret, and we learned this on the behind the scenes tour, so I probably shouldn't tell you this. I'll be told off this. But there's one turret which is gold. If you've been to Disneyland Paris, you might not even realise, if you zoom in on that gold turret, there's snails going up it. And that was because France at that point, and I don't think they still do, they don't serve snails in the parks because French eat snails. So they thought, how can we make it French? Let's put the snails on the turret. So if anyone's in England and you've been and you've got pictures and you don't know that, zoom in and you will see on that gold turret there's little snails. Really cool. But also that particular castle, they've got a bit underneath. We can go in the lift, or you can go around one of the sides and you get to see the dragon. And it's a big audio animatronic dragon. I can never say that word, get my teeth in. But it's a big dragon. He doesn't talk, obviously, but he does sort of snort every now and then, and smoke comes out, and it's a big, dragon. And there's not in any other park, is it? That's only in Paris. So that's why we kind of like that, or I like that castle more. It's a sort of prettier castle, but I like the fact you've got an underneath to it, and you can see a dragon. So yeah, so that's kind of the 2 reasons why I like Paris more. But we would never not do America. We love America. We love America, Disney. We have not done, we and my wife haven't done California yet. We probably will at some point go back to Florida. We are going back to Florida this year, so we will go back hopefully to California to try that Disney park, and for me a new experience of the Disney California Adventure. But we love America, we love Disney, and then we love the American way of life. We love your food. You've got some really nice restaurants. Certainly when you go out of Disney, you can. We love Applebee's. Applebee's! Is that how we say it? Applebee's! We're a bit mad. But we love that because, again, if it's still on there, you can get two meals for $22. And there was someone's chucking a little starter as well. And it's like, we love that. There was, I forget the name of it now. It's a chain of Italian restaurants. Jade Gardens, is it? I can't remember now. That was quite nice. We did, as we came out of along that way, as we come out where we stayed, there was a Chinese takeaway, and I wanted a chow mein, but it wasn't called chow mein. I think it's called lo mein. So we kind of had to explain what I wanted, and they said, that's what you want, and it came out and it's like, oh, this is really nice. And eating in that restaurant was almost the equivalent of eating as a takeaway. It was really nice, really nice. In fact, that's the other thing as well. I've mentioned it before, where I was waffling on about what we like about the Sarasota area. I'm not sure if this is in Orlando or not. There's a shop called Bells, Bealls. It sounds like Beals, but it's pronounced Bells, I believe. It's basically a clothes store, but they have other stuff in there. My mum goes in, as does my wife, a comes out with loads of handbags, you know, women have handbags. Whoa, we've got to have a handbag, you know, and why have one, we can have 7, isn't it? So, but what they do in Bells, and I don't know, say if they've got Bells in Orlando area, or if they do it in there, but when you buy in Bells, you get what they call Bells Bucks. So you spend, say, you know, $30, you get Bells Bucks back. Then on a certain day of the week, and it's normally, I think, either a Saturday or Sunday, but don't quote me on that, but one day a week, you can go back into Bells and spend those bucks on anything in the shop. Not like it's sold, that's off. You could say, I've got 50 Bells Bucks, I'm going to buy that t-shirt for nothing. So you're converting those bucks for that, for nothing. So, you know, if you're ever in the Sarasota area, Bells are everywhere. There's one in State Road 70, there's one down the, I think, Fruitville Road or Avenue, what that one's called. They're everywhere. I just don't know if they're in Orlando. And that's why it's worth trying rural Florida to find these sort of shops, you know. Because you don't, I think, you know, to a point, the Orlando area, it's like a tourist trap. You know, we know the tourists are coming here. Let's keep the prices high. Even the outlet malls, I don't know how cheap they are compared to coastal areas, because at the end of the day, the coastal areas, the locals live there, so they're not going to sting the locals, are they? They're going to make sure the prices are at a more reasonable price. And obviously, as you probably know from America, and even if you're not American, you probably may know that each little county you go in, like Orange County, that's California, isn't it? But each little county has its own tax rate. So, like from the Sarasota area, we're in Bradenton, I think it's 6% tax. If you literally go down to the next shopping mall, it jumps up to the 7% tax. So that's another factor, you know. I don't quite know how that works in the Orlando area, how big a county that is, if it's just one flat tax rate or not. But so that's the answer. Love Paris, but we do love America. We love Americans as a whole. Just love Americans. I love the way Americans are so patriotic, you know, so patriotic. We've been in the American Venture. I think it's the American Venture as the national anthem at the end, or is it Hall of Presidents, or maybe even both. But they all stand up, and it's like that. It's so good. I don't think we as British do that enough. We do sing the national anthem, but it's like, you know, Americans are very proud to be American, and that's what I love about America as well. Very proud to be American. Well, that's it for today. There will be some more Ask Me a Questions coming up, so do keep an eye out for those. If you still want to ask me a question, say just put a little question at the bottom of the comments box here, and do check out the description for the people who have contributed towards this little particular vlog, and check out their channels. So we'll see you soon.